Can you take me higher? To G1C on TNT. Can you take me higher? As the world saw us light the beam. So let's go there. And let's win 5 straight. Come on, let's go there.
So let's go there.
Let's go there.
Let's make an escape. Let's go there. Doug Christie's the GOAT. Can you take me higher? Welcome back to the Kang Gang Pod. This is episode number 26. The Sacramento Kings.
Ken Bazemore episode, baby. Let's go.
Shouts out Ken Bazemore. Woo! The Sacramento Kings on Hello Kitty Night live on TNT beat down the Houston Rockets 132 to 127. Johnny was in the building. Talk to us about what you saw tonight, baby.
Pure electricity, a lot of meows, a lot of kitty fans, just awesome. Just a packed house, a lot of offense, not a lot of defense, but you know what? We got the job done. But just pure electricity, a lot of kitty ears tonight.
Were there more Hello Kitty fans or Houston Rocket fans in the building?
There's a lot of Hello Kitty. That's actually a very good question.
Yeah, no, I want to hear your analysis.
I don't recall seeing a ton of Rockets fans, but a lot of kitty ears. So I'm gonna say more Hello Kitty fans. There was a line to get the Hello Kitty merch from the team store, the sweater that they had. I think it was a sweater. One of the ticket reps who was a friend of mine said that there was like literally a line of like people waiting to get that
for games like
these.
There
was a picture. Wild. There was also a line to take a picture with Hello Kitty. He or she, I don't know, with the cat's whatever. But they were dancing at halftime, and then after halftime on the third quarter, there was like a whole line to take a picture with the kitty. So you're telling me people
left their seats to go take the photo with Hello Kitty rather than watch the third quarter?
Yes.
Hey, shouts out HK.
Yeah, but no, just an electric environment. It was awesome. We also caught a little cow, one of the Chick-fil-A cows that they dropped from the top.
That's so sick.
So caught one of those. That was cool. Never really get anything at the games.
I've been to so many games. My section never gets anything falling. And shouts out. Shouts out Chick-fil-A.
Shout out Section 115. There were some good fans there. You know, we don't always sit with good fans when we go to games. Sometimes we sit with a lot of opposing teams and people that get mad when we scream. But shout out Section 115 tonight.
Was it all Kings fans?
It was all Kings fans.
Yeah,
the people next to me, the guys behind me. We were just a whole collection of like 6 of us that were just like rowdy, standing up, cheering. Man, it was good vibes.
I love that.
Good vibes tonight.
No, and especially on TNT. And they had a lot of segments throughout the game where they were talking about, one, the funniest moment was when Kevin Harlan and Stan Van Gundy were freaking out about the when you miss 2 free throws, you get a slice of pizza. You know, they ended up getting a slice of pizza, which was hilarious. Like they were playing into because they were joking about how loud it was. They're like, I would have thought this was, I don't remember what they said exactly, but they're like, oh, I don't know if it was like a playoff game or the Kings just won pizza. I don't know. But basically just saying like how loud our arena gets. So
it was so loud
cool.
tonight.
Yeah.
It was so loud tonight. And it was like a playoff atmosphere because we got towels. So everyone that entered the game, they were Hello Kitty towels. So, but everyone was waving them before the game started. So it was literally like a playoff atmosphere. I think that made everyone more excited and made everyone scream a little bit louder. But it was crazy.
That's so cool tonight. Because for the Kings Warriors, we did something similar. Mm-hmm. And then a January game in 2025. Hello Kitty Night brings the best out of everyone.
Hey, we ball out on the media, the crew that basically promotes this. They just go all out for national television games. It just felt like it was like it reminded me of when we played the Thunder and we had a blackout, and that
2012,
right?
2012.
Yeah, that was crazy. But I guess to kind of also mention Kevin Harlan and Stan Van Gundy, they didn't get like the pizza from Mountain Mike's. It was actually the pizza from the concession stand,
which is
not the same.
Trash.
The worst. Me and our team were talking about this
because Mountain Mike's is solid.
Mountain Mike's is good pizza.
I love Mountain Mike's. Love Mountain Mike's.
But when they were showing the pizza on the screen, we're like, oh no, they gave him the Golden One Center pizza, which me and our team both agree.
And how much is it?
It's like $6-7 a slice, and I think it is the worst pizza like you could ever have.
You know what I'm going to say? One of the best value foods you can get, and you could share with another person, is the Petra Euro fries. And they're a little bit pricey. They're like $15.
The fries, or
no? They're the Euro with the meat, tzatziki sauce.
At the game?
At the game. The Petra upstairs. So we got this for the first time. It was like, I think it was $16, but it's literally a huge mountain of fries. Not even me and Michelle could finish them. And I was like, this has got to be the best value, because it's like, that's all you need for food for the game. It's $16, because you can get a little crazy, right? Chicken tenders and fries, that's like 12. You get a drink with that too, that's like another 10, whatever, 7.
You get the $13 all you can eat popcorn like RT.
Yeah,
that's right, baby.
Exactly.
That's my jam.
But shout out Petra. I mean, Petra's solid, but if you're going to a game, get the Petra Euro fries, then you'll be set. That's all you need.
And don't get the pizza.
Don't get the pizza.
I just feel like, another thing before we move on, I just feel like a lot of like arenas and stadiums, like in general, when it comes to sports, they just suck at making pizza. They really do. They just suck. Like,
I don't know what it is with their ovens, man.
It's just so bad. Like, I went to Dodger Stadium 7 years ago. Absolutely terrible pizza. I threw it out after two bites.
For a pizza connoisseur like yourself, that's surprising.
Yeah,
that's surprising.
They suck. I don't know what it is. It's just so gross.
Well, pizza aside and Hello Kitty aside, let's dive into this freaking unbelievable game. By unbelievable, I mean, you could go off of any aspect of that word by saying we just allowed Houston to get everything they wanted in the paint. We're kind of all over the place this entire game. Let's just break it down from the very beginning. So the Kings end up going up 26-25 in the first quarter. What did you see? Johnny, I want to start with you because you were in the building. What was the first quarter in your eyes?
Yeah, I mean, definitely a slow start, right? We've seen, both teams were under 30 points to start that quarter, so a little bit sluggish. You can tell both teams are kind of taking it slow. It took a little bit for shots to fall, but we stood pat on defense. I feel like we were playing really physical with Houston, which is what you got to do. They got, they have a team with Dylan Brooks and Amen Thompson. So they're a really physical team, a young team. Ime Udoka's a physical kind of style coach, defensive coach. So that first quarter, it was, obviously when you're sitting there live, you want to see a lot of scoring, but I was encouraged to see us actually be physical with Houston, even though our shots weren't going in. To hold them to 25 points in the first quarter, that's really good. They're definitely one of the best offenses in the league. Their record speaks for itself. But yeah, obviously, the offense turned up second, third, and fourth quarter, but that first quarter, I was encouraged to see us, staying pat on defense.
I think the biggest thing I saw, I was watching this game with Cristo, and just the confidence from Keon Ellis. Let's just talk about Keon Ellis just making those two big threes. And it just seems like this year in general, Keon Ellis has just made such a big jump from his 3-point shooting percentage, taking it at a higher volume. Last year, he was kind of just basically just more of like an inside scorer, would basically cut to the rim. Maybe he would take 1 to 2 threes a game. But Keon Ellis is making that big step where he's able to consistently shoot threes at a high clip and also make them at a very high clip. So, those first 2 threes, the first two shots he took were threes, and they were both in. And so just that confidence from Keon Ellis just adds already to what he already has in terms of defense. It's like, oh man, you can't just ask anything more for a 3-and-D guy at that size at all. So that's just a fantastic way of doing it.
Yeah, because last season, Keon, he shot 41% from 3, which is extremely good. He wanted to carry that into this season, obviously, but the main difference, like you said, is his confidence. He wants to shoot the 3 now. It's not because he's just wide open. It's like he's looking to score now, which is amazing. This was the first time Keon Ellis wore a headband in a game. That was a big deal.
That was sick.
Yeah. See a headband herder. It's headband Keon, but who knows how long that's going to last, because unfortunately, fast forward to the third quarter, Keon Ellis had to leave the game with an ankle injury. Prayers up to Keon Ellis. We love you so much. We really are hoping that you're going to be okay. Stepping on Sabonis's foot, a very unlucky injury, but
very unlucky. You could hear the air come out of the building when they showed that, and just how much pain he was in. Everyone, it was just tough to see. But hopefully it's nothing serious once they do X-rays and.
Yeah. Hopefully it's a speedy recovery. But also in the first quarter, not only was Keon Ellis making threes. Who's on me and Johnny's shirt right here? Keegan Murray. And the thing about what made his 2 3-pointers in the first quarter so special was Stan Van Gundy was giving the man love. He was saying that it's great to see Keegan Murray back to the 3-point shooting that we are accustomed to. So from an outsider perspective, who doesn't really follow the Kings like how we do, obviously, he was saying like, yeah, I've noticed that Keegan Murray has been in a slump, but like it's great to see him. Like this is like what we expect from Keegan Murray. Like this is what we thought we would see. And yeah, so Keegan Murray had a great game tonight. And it started off hot in the first quarter.
I'm not going to say it was because it was my shirt present, but you know, every time he made a three during those 2 threes, I stood up in section 115, pointed at my shirt, and I was hyping up the crowd.
Man,
you know?
you should have gotten on national TV tonight. They should have shown
about it.
Yeah, they should have shown your shirt. Like, hey,
if I was closer behind Kevin Harlan, I would have went down there and just showed it.
Why didn't they give you a post game interview? That's absurd.
It's absurd. But absurd. Also, the Kings had 10 defensive rebounds in the first quarter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Wait, defensive?
Huge. Yeah. 10 defensive rebounds.
Defensive. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you were saying defensive or offensive. So I was like,
no,
whoa.
defensive.
Okay.
In the first quarter.
I was like,
crazy, right?
Yeah, not bad. Not bad.
Solid. And you know who's most of the time grabbing those rebounds? Keegan Murray.
Yeah,
of course.
So he's not just doing it on the 3-point end.
Yeah, so he was all over the place in the first quarter,
guy.
which was great to see.
Love him.
Another thing. So obviously Houston was missing Fred VanVleet and Jabari Smith Jr. tonight. So they put in 17-year vet Jeff Green into the mix. A guy who
That's Uncle Jeff.
Uncle Jeff, who doesn't play that often. He had himself an excellent game for a 17-year-old vet who just stays ready all the time. He played great. So another thing, this was Malik Monk's return from the groin soreness that missed in the Bucks game. So you could just instantly see the difference between playing without Monk and then having Monk on our team. So like when we didn't have Monk in the Bucks game, God, we would have done everything to have him out there. But seeing his production and like what he brings, like we are a much different team with him on the court, and we saw that early on with Malik Monk getting assists and scoring as well in the first quarter.
Yeah, I think the best thing about Monk is he's letting the offense come to him. I think as good as he's been with us, I think we've seen Malik Monk force it sometimes. Like during his slumps, it looks like he's trying to force offense too much. But he had 4 assists in the first quarter. He led our team with assists. So it looks like he's letting the game kind of slowly come to him, which is what you want to see. I mean, at the end of the day, he's converting into a point guard. Obviously, he started his career as a shooting guard, but he's handling the ball more than he ever has in his career. And the fact that he's facilitating and looking comfortable passing in the pick and roll, I mean, 4 assists in the first quarter, that starts your offense. That gets everything rolling. And then if he picks it up with his offense in second, third, and fourth quarter, that just helps our team even more. And obviously he did that tonight.
I just want to say something that the Monk and Sabonis pick and roll is just pure class every single time.
Beautiful.
I'm glad that the world got to see it because we see it every night. Yeah. But the world got to see it tonight.
And it's like a quarterback. Awesome. It's like in football when a quarterback knows where a receiver is going to be. It's like the same thing, right? Yeah. It's just that chemistry that you predict where the person's going to be, and they just have that.
Matthew Stafford, Puka Nacua, my God, those two guys, they just understand.
Brock Purdy, George Kittle.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
That's my dogs.
Yep.
Oh.
Hey, thank you for that shout out. The people needed to hear that.
But I think Monk loves that respect now because it's like his whole career he was just like this J.R. Smith streaky scorer, not reliable, not a facilitator, not a point guard, and now he's getting love for his facilitating. I think he really he's flourishing in it. He enjoys it. He enjoys having more things to his game than just scoring. I think
the ascension of Malik Monk going from Charlotte to LA to here, what a jump in his career. Well, he was a J.R. Smith in Charlotte.
Yeah, he was in the G League in Charlotte. Yeah.
And now
that's crazy.
He's a starter in the NBA, being one of the most impactful players on a soon-to-be, hopefully, playoff team in Sacramento. Second quarter. So the Sacramento Kings. This is where things started to ramp up. We went on a 10-0 run. My highlight from the second quarter, was when Domantas Sabonis had a crazy and one with the left hand jelly underneath the hoop. It was
beautiful.
Like, how do you finish that with that same hand?
A 7-footer.
Unbelievable.
A 7-footer. Just a late signing to the Jelly fam.
Yeah.
You ever talk about that high school Jelly fam?
Yes. Kyrie would have signed him to the Jelly fam for sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I was sitting behind the backboard when he first made that, so I thought it was his right hand at first, and I saw the replay, and I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
He jellied that, because it looked from my angle, I couldn't see which hand he finished with, so I assumed it was his right hand, but then I saw that he jellied it, and I was like, dang.
Even on the broadcast, you couldn't tell because of the camera angle, then when they play it back, you're like, no way.
Yeah, because it was already impressive with the right hand. Yeah. I saw that, it was crazy.
Yeah, so I think that was like the spark of that second quarter, because that's when we were on a run, 10-0 run, and then it wasn't just Sabonis who was going crazy. It was also DeMar DeRozan. He was extremely efficient. DeRozan scored 9 points. Finishes with 11 in the first half. So 9 out of his 11 points were coming from that second quarter. And then Domantas Sabonis, he had 12 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists just in the second quarter. And he finishes the first half with a double-double, which brings him to his 49th career double-double in the first half. And the only current player that is leading him right now, Nikola Jokic. Actually, you might have to fact check me on that, but what they showed on the broadcast was just Jokic, who was at 51. Yeah. I mean, LeBron might be above him, which we could look up
rightfully
later.
so.
But yeah, what was crazy about Sabonis is that he went 5 for 5 from the field, so he didn't miss. He was lights out in that second quarter. Sabonis was what brought all the energy in Golden One Center during that second quarter. Johnny, what was it like second quarter? Because on TV it looked incredible.
Yeah, our offense really got rolling. I think I almost lost my voice with how many times I screamed, he can't guard you, when Dylan Brooks was guarding DeMar DeRozan in the post. But that second quarter was electric. Our offense got rolling. Malik Monk with 7 assists, tying his career high for a half. And I think it's not a coincidence that Domas went off in that second quarter, because when he has Monk is feeding him with a silver spoon. So that was an electric quarter to watch for sure. That was when we kind of pulled away. Obviously, ended the quarter with a 9-point lead, I believe, or 11-point lead.
We were up 9 points. We went up 61-52.
9-point lead. So still, obviously we weren't getting too many stops in a row, but our offense looked so good. 40-point offense or 40-point quarter from the second quarter.
Almost, yeah. I think 26-61. So just about, yeah.
Yeah. So offense was huge, but Rockets were tough. They kept the game close. But yeah, DeMar DeRozan was in his bag.
Yeah.
The whole game.
Yeah. There was like a play from Malik Monk, especially in that second quarter, that was just like, whoa. It was like this no-look pick and roll. Oh, yeah. It was insane. Like, he had this no-look dime, and it like came out of the ball. It came out of his hands super quick, and just like fed into Domas's hands, and he was able to convert that pick and roll. I was like, dude, Malik Monk is just such a good player with just knowing where Domas is at all times. I think that just that chemistry is something we talk about a lot, but just the way that he's able to just manipulate a defense, especially through a pick and roll, not knowing when the ball is going to come out of that pick and roll, that's like so effective, and knowing like when you can really make and take advantage of that is so effective. I think a lot of people that also are outside of Kings Twitter, or even in Kings in general, they're basically like, just use the pick and roll more often. Just use that, abuse that. Steve Nash, Amari Stoudemire were known famously for just hammering the pick and roll consistently, and nobody could stop it. So I don't see any reason why Malik Monk and Domas could do the same thing. That pick and roll could be very, very elite, and especially in an offense that's very high powered. That is a pick and roll that is going to work so effectively against any team in the league.
And it has been.
Well, when you have a screen setter like Domas, you're going to get separation, because Domas is going to hit that player. And the way Keegan's making spot up threes, that's going to be a hard play to beat.
Speaking of pick and rolls and screens, Domantas Sabonis leads the NBA in screen assists.
Sheesh.
Not shocked.
So you think that's impressive? Let me tell you more.
Tell me more.
Give me another.
He leads the league in rebounding, of course. And guess what else? He leads the league in 3-point field goal percentage.
And you know what he also leads the league in?
Tell me.
Double-doubles,
That's
baby.
four things that Sabonis...
I think there's a fifth. He's got to lead the league in wine sales.
No,
he's got to lead the league in wine. Who else is selling wine than him?
Easily.
Yes, that's 5.
Oh, easily. I love that. That's a great call.
And that's why he needs to be an all-star. They were talking about it. They were debating if Domantas Sabonis should get an all-star vote.
Debating?
Yeah.
Who said no?
So let's just dive into it right now. So during the halftime show, Shaq and Charles were basically going back and forth on if Sabonis should get an all-star appearance. And then they're like, well, what about Sengun? His team is 2nd overall. And then he's like, I value winning. Charles was saying this. I value winning when I pick an all-star. I'm going with Sengun over Sabonis. And then Shaq was like, Oh no, it's not about winning for an All-Stars. It's all about stats. I think it should be Sabonis. So it was this back and forth.
Barkley's such a Kings hater.
What?
And he used to play for Houston.
Oh,
of course he's gonna side with them.
dude,
Just wait till
the post game.
Yeah,
wait till the post game.
yeah, we're not going to talk about that yet. But
No, just wait.
But yeah, since the second quarter's over at this point, that's what they were talking about, and we're like, dude, obviously Sabonis needs to be an All-Star. He's putting up even better numbers than he did his 2 previous seasons when he had unbelievable seasons. So yeah, Sabonis will be an All-Star. But the reason why I think we also pulled away in that second quarter is because we got Jalen Green 3 fouls in the second quarter. So he had to sit with like 6 minutes left. I think RT is at yawn number 8 already.
No, that's yawn number 2.
I don't even notice.
Okay, third quarter. So this, I want to hear your in-game what you experienced when you saw this happening.
Let's just do it for all 4 quarters. This is the way to do it.
What?
When I saw what happened.
What happened in the third quarter? What did you feel?
Yeah,
quarter?
because just wait till I ask him how do you feel in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Okay, but the one moment that really stood out to me the most in the third quarter was Keegan Murray, fast break, coast to coast, behind the back dribble, which he never does, into an and one layup. When he went for the attempted dunk, but great defense and a foul had to get him to make a layup. He gets the and one. Crowd, I think, blew the rooftop off Golden One. What happened? What happened in there?
I don't know, man. I think he had a feeling I was wearing his shirt or something because he played like a different. When have we ever seen him make a play like that?
Dude, that
was insane. It was like he was possessed.
The only time I saw that was when I was at the Summer League game with RT when he dropped 40. He did that.
Right.
But that was against Summer League players. But this was special out of Keegan Murray.
Yeah, that was electric. I mean, Keegan all night was electric. He's got to be a fan of Hello Kitty. He's got to be a Hello Kitty fan. I think he's just hiding it because he's a very stoic, very calm individual. But that play was insane. He's just... Yeah, if he keeps this up all year, obviously he's already all defensive candidate, I think. But, I mean, it's not too late for him to win Most Improved, I don't think. If he can keep getting around 20 and keep playing this defense that he has, I think it's hard to call him to not call him a Most Improved player candidate.
That was a bold take alert.
That's all I'm saying.
Whoa!
All I'm saying. Give me some.
Come on, baby. Come on.
I like that. I like that.
Love you, Kings. Love you.
But Keegan Murray, after he falls on the ground and gets lifted up by his players, I don't know if you saw, but we saw at home. He smiled.
He smiled?
Keegan got a smile. And you know what's crazy? When Keegan smiles, great things happen. That's what prompted us to go up 16 points in the third quarter.
Yep.
So I think we were leading 77-61 at one point. So we did have that 16-point lead. That was definitely like a momentum shifter when Keegan Murray went coast to coast. That was amazing. So we were up 16 at one point in the third quarter. And then it only took the Rockets 6 minutes to end up taking their own lead. So the third quarter was the highest of highs and the lowest of lows.
Well, we were only down by 5 though, going to the end of the third quarter.
Yes.
So it wasn't as bad.
No, but like right when the fourth quarter started is when they got the lead, and from that moment to then, it was 6 minutes.
It's weird. As good as we were, I never felt comfortable with our lead being there live. Like it just looked like the Rockets were making timely shots and didn't let us ever get too far ahead. It was just so nerve-wracking. And obviously late in the game when it was a 1-point game and we were trading leads, that was sketchy. But all game I never felt comfortable, which was weird.
Neither did I. Even when we were up.
Yeah, because Rockets are a good team. Even without 2 of their best players, they were locked in. But yeah, I never got comfortable.
Yeah, because the Rockets have been extremely hot as of late. They've won 5 in a row coming into this game. The Rockets have also they've won 7 straight road games coming into this game, and Jalen Green has been averaging 33 points in the last 5 games. So the Rockets have been absolutely rolling. So that's why when we have a lead, we know that you have to be locked in still. Yeah. So another thing, once the Rockets started climbing back into the game, that's when the Keon injury happened, and then that's when we kind of started to fall apart. I was excited for Devin Carter to get some more minutes. So this would be a good experience for him going forward to get these extra, take the Keon Ellis minutes. And then he responds with getting a charge. So that was incredible. So he that might have been his first one of his career in the NBA.
I think so.
I think it was. It was exciting for him.
First of many.
First of many, exactly. So yeah, that was great to see out of that. But We ended the quarter with a De'Aaron Fox to a Kevin Huerter alley-oop. We went up 7, and then freaking Amen Thompson, who was just giving us problems all night, ended up scoring at the buzzer pretty much, and the Kings had a 5-point lead. So that was the third quarter. It was crazy, up and down that whole third quarter, and yeah.
That lob to Kevin Huerter was sick. I can't remember the last time I've seen him finish with a dunk and an alley oop. So I was definitely shocked. I was standing up out of my seat
when I saw
him
me and
dunk
RT
that.
were too.
Everyone in the stands was actually genuinely shocked that Kevin Huerter can dunk the ball. Like, I don't think we've ever seen him jump that high.
No, it's funny because like every single time
I was standing up, tapping my head, like it was good.
It's funny, every time Kevin Huerter dunks, he always makes eye contact with the bench because they know
they're just as shocked
They're just as shocked too, and Kevin's like, "Hey, I'm trying to prove you guys wrong." Yeah. So shouts out Kevin for that one play.
That was incredible.
But yeah, pretty much the story of the third quarter was just Ime Udoka got the Rockets to be physical, and that's where the Kings struggle. They scored 26 points in the paint in the first half. In that third quarter, they scored 24. So that was the story of how they climbed back into it. So brutal for the Kings, but we found a way to continue our lead up 5. So fourth quarter starts. The Rockets, from the point that we were up to the fourth quarter, they went on a 28-11 run. So Rockets were rolling. And then right after that, it was kind of back and forth. And then the Kings went on a run of ourselves. So then we go on an 8-0 run, and we're up 9 points, 114-105. And then after that, the Rockets answer back. After calling a timeout, they answer back with a 10-0 run. So then it's 114-113 with about 4 minutes left. And then this is when me and RT weren't really talking to each other the rest of the game because we were just so anxious for what was happening in this game. I think at one point in the fourth quarter, there was 22 lead changes. That number had to have changed by the end, probably close to the 30 mark. I was trying to keep track of the sequence of how the game ended because it was insane. I'm sure in the arena it's so hard to
it's hard to
see each play because there's so many huge swings.
It was just a roller coaster of emotions. I've never been to a game live where I've had so much uncertainty on whether we're winning the game or not. Just because it was you never knew if Houston was going to flip the switch and go on this crazy run. And even when we went on our crazy run, I never was oh, this is it. We're putting them away. We're putting our bench in. No. There was at no point where I thought we were going to win the game, nor did I think we were going to lose it. I just didn't know what was going on because it was just so back and forth.
Yeah, especially in the last 2 minutes, we would get a 5-point lead, and then they would get So I think we went up 5 because DeRozan hit a 3, and then Malik had that and 1. We go up 5, and then Jalen Green makes a 3, so then we're up 2. After that, DeRozan. So this was after Malik hit that and 1. He was wide open in the corner. You probably couldn't see this at the game, but Monk was waving to get the ball wide open in the corner. And this was so crazy because DeRozan just holds the ball doing his ISO game with under 2 minutes left. He waves him off, and Monk was a little upset at first. He was and then he looks at the bench and then immediately locks back in. And then DeRozan, that's when he goes to the free throw line and gets an and one midi. Yep. And it was crazy because Monk went over to DeRozan after that, talking to him, hyping him up. So
that was on Dylan Brooks too, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I think so. Yeah. Wow. So then that happened. And then we go up, and then he makes the free throw. So then we go up 5 again. And then Sengun gets fouled, misses 1 of 2. And then after that, so he gets fouled by Sabonis, and that's when Sabonis fouls out of the game. And then, he misses the free throw. We go up 4. And then Tari Eason hits a 3. So then it gets Kings up 1. So whenever we had an opportunity to break away and win, Rockets answer back. And then Jalen Green came alive in that fourth quarter. He was hitting huge threes. And RT, make it make sense. How did the Kings finish this game out strong?
They finished the game out strong by the most insane thing you will ever see. They hit 14 consecutive free throws from the third quarter, from Malik Monk's miss in the third quarter. It was at the 7-minute mark. The Kings made 14 straight free throws, maybe even more. And they finished the game overall 18 of 20 from the free throw line.
20 for 22.
20 for 22. Yeah,
wow.
See what I'm saying? So,
wow.
Yeah, and that's even crazier. So 20 for 22. And this team last year, we would have lost this game easily.
We would have
lost this game easily last year because we were just the worst free throw percentage team. I mean, I'm going to look this up right now. I think we are a top 7 free throw team, like free throw percentage wise. I'm going to make sure I do my facts correctly though.
Pull it up.
This is important because the free throw percentage, night and day difference. I mean, it's just a night and day difference. I mean, we're second in the NBA right now in free throw percentage.
Thank you, DeRozan.
80.7%.
Wow.
It is insane.
The amount of free throws we were getting at the end of the game was crazy because just because they had to foul out pretty much at the end. But luckily, Dylan Brooks kept us alive in that game because when we had to inbound the ball and there was a little bit of a miscommunication between Fox and Monk, and then Fox hesitates for a second, Monk passes it in, and then we get the lucky call, which normally we would never get a call like that ever. And then Dylan Brooks gets one foul, and then he got on the other end, he got another
away
foul
from ball foul.
Yeah, so that was a huge swing in the game because they would have retained possession down 1, and then it happened right in front of the Rockets bench, and they were losing their mind. They were probably like, dang, why didn't we challenge? But they reviewed it anyways, and the foul did occur before even passing the ball in, so that was huge. And then going back to that play, if that play never happened, when Jalen Green knocked down that 3 to the end of the game, it would have been a tie game. So all of that stuff matters at when you really analyze how that game ended, and it was just unbelievable. Me and RT were... we like to make celebration videos after we win and post them on Instagram, but we didn't even know how to celebrate after that win because it was just so intense. It was... Yeah,
it's crazy. A very mature win. I mean, 31% of our fourth quarter points were from free throws. Almost more than a quarter of our points in that fourth quarter were from free throws.
What stats are you pulling up right now?
Hey, man, shout out to the NBA app.
Okay.
But that's what mature teams do, and it's not flashy, right? But that at the end of the day, that's what keeps you in games. One, being physical and getting to the line, but knocking your free throws down. And we've seen the Kings have opportunities at the free throw line in the past and not be able to knock them down. But I think it's just a sign of maturity. And obviously, having DeRozan, a vet, come in, kind of calm things down, show us what it takes to kind of be calm at the free throw line. I think it's just trickled down to Domas, to Fox. Fox went 5 for 5 as well. So it's infectious when you see your best player, when you see a vet be so steady at that free throw line. I think it trickles down to everybody on that team.
There was a moment when Fox was at the free throw line for one of those 5 free throws, and I think it was Stan Van Gundy. He was saying, De'Aaron Fox is shooting a lot better from the free throw line. He's shooting 80% on the year. And me and RT are like,
trying to jinx him.
Please don't say that right now. But Fox blocked out the noise that he probably couldn't hear anyways, and hit huge free throws when it was not Fox's night tonight. He went 6 for 17 from the field tonight. It was not his game, but he ended up with 19 points with a ton of huge clutch free throws.
But I think what you also mentioned too, he wasn't there offensively, but in the fourth quarter, defensively, he had 4 steals. And so, the entire game, he had 4 steals, but a lot of those defensive plays came in the fourth quarter. You can tell that he really turned it up defensively, and that's what good players do. If they're not, at all doing it on the offensive end, you can really turn to something else and find a way to really be good at other areas. Today, he was hitting free throws, which is huge, and that also really, really helped. He took the free throw and away from a ball foul, and Cristo and are like, "Oh my god, he's doing it!" I thought DeRozan was gonna.
It was it's got to be Malik or DeRozan, But then Fox goes to the line, and we're like, "Okay, Captain. Okay, Captain.
Yeah, all right, Captain.
At ease,
Fox. At ease.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things that a good player really, really can do is find ways to affect the game in other areas when your offense isn't working. And tonight, Fox was very pesky on defense. He was basically getting in passing lanes. He had 4 steals, and he respectively earned the D-Pod crown tonight, which I think is very, very fitting.
Yeah, the Sacramento Kings ended with 5 steals for the game. He had 4 of them. So, De'Aaron, well-deserved. And not only was he not shooting well, he found other ways to get the team involved by passing the ball. He had 7 huge assists tonight. So De'Aaron, my favorite thing about De'Aaron is that he whenever he's not performing well on the offensive end, he for a fact will make up for it on the defensive end. And he's done that time and time again. And especially on a TNT game when, obviously he would have loved to go ball out for 40 on a national televised game. He did everything he could to help get that team over the hump and win tonight's game.
Yeah, that's well said by RT. I think it takes a lot of maturity to still put in effort on the defensive end when your offense isn't rolling. And it just shows the growth that De'Aaron Fox continues to have. I mean, 4 steals against that Houston Rockets offense is huge. And that's literally a game changer because a lot of those steals were timely when they were going on crazy runs, and they easily could have, snowballed into a bigger lead. But 4 steals, I mean, that just shows he's given effort, even though his shots aren't going in. So very well said by you, RT.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
RT is an analyst,
Oh, yeah.
He's an analyst.
Yeah.
We all are.
So
we all are. We all are.
He's locked on.
It's
RT O'Connor.
Yeah.
Now KOC looks like he's.
No, honestly, I have a lot of respect.
I have a lot of respect.
I have a lot of respect for him on the Deuce and Mo pod.
Can I get a shout out to Deuce and Mo because they ended up going on the KOC pod and they just were defending Sabonis. They were defending their players.
It's not the first time they've done this to him too.
No,
they did it in the summer league as well.
Yep,
they didn't hold back. Deuce was grilling him, was calling him out on his takes, telling him he was never giving us our flowers, never gonna, because he really doesn't. Like he talks to us when things go bad. He criticizes us, but he doesn't give Sabonis his flowers when we're playing good. So shout out
specifically
to
Sabonis too.
Right, shout out to Deuce and Mo for keeping it real with him and calling him out and voicing all the Kings fans' frustrations.
Yeah, if you guys haven't seen that, you gotta watch it because Kevin O'Connor, for those that don't know, he is one of the biggest online Kings haters. For some reason, he hates the Kings more than anything, and he's very vocal about it on Twitter. When you look at his profile picture, he looks like this very intimidating guy. But after listening to his podcast, you're like, oh, this guy's actually like he's pretty cool.
He understands the game really well.
I have a lot of respect for him after seeing him rather than just looking at his tweets.
I mean, he thinks Sabonis's stats are empty stats. So I mean that's ridiculous. That's wild to watch Sabonis and think his contributions are empty stats.
Yeah,
that's just
but
wild.
he was finally acknowledging that because basically his whole thing was saying like Sabonis needs to like add more to his game
and then jump shot.
And now that Sabonis is leading the league in 3-point percentage, he's like, see, I was right. Fine. Yeah, so I mean like his approach
still won't tweet about him.
No,
he still won't
for some reason
give him his flowers.
He probably came to Sacramento when it was like 117 out. Maybe he just had a bad day here, but for some reason it carries on to his tweets. But anyways, that was a great podcast, and actually I really enjoyed that conversation a lot.
That was great.
Let's break down the stats. So DeMar DeRozan, 31 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 7 for 7 from the free throw line, shooting about 53% from the field. Keegan Murray, 18 points, 11 rebounds, another double-double.
Let's go.
Slowly climbing up the double-double ladder. Sabonis, 20 points, 14 rebounds, 7 assists. Malik Monk, my God, again and again, just proven why he should be a starter with 28 points, 9 assists.
There was
a lot of those tonight, I'm sure.
Pizza.
And then De'Aaron Fox, 19 points, 6 of 17 from the field, but he did get those 7 assists and 4 steals.
Swipe.
Boys, who was your player of the game tonight?
I gotta go with Debo, man. I gotta go with Debo
too.
I mean, he was so clutch in that fourth quarter. I mean, when he made that, like when he waved off Monk and then he hit that and one, I yelled out and one so loud at Christo's TV. It was his neighbors are like, "Why do you have this guy over all the time?"
They know it's a Kings game when we're loud. They know.
I know, but
once they see the Jeep Patriot in the driveway, they know they got to wear earplugs to bed. They already know. But it's hard to pick just one player because it was just such a team effort. Obviously Monk with the 7 assists in the first half, starting us strong. Sabonis putting on his hard hat like he does each game. Fox with 4 steals. Keegan Murray 18 points, all those rebounds. DeRozan closing it. Obviously DeRozan's the easy pick because he closed the game out. He's the one that put the team on his back late. But man, such a team effort. I was so shocked just looking at the box score, seeing how evenly spread out the points were. It's just such a great thing to see, and it looks like our offense is finally clicking.
And I think you mentioned something too, that this was another team effort, and I think that's been like a big message for these last 10 games that Doug Christie has really took over from this team. I think the team has been, over the last 10 games, we are 8-2 in our last 10 games that Doug Christie has coached. And one of the things that I've seen and noticed is that this team, basically every win that we've had so far has been like a team effort based approach. There hasn't been like an individual performance. I know that Fox had 49 points against Utah, and that may be just like an individual win, but that was a very close game, and that was very tight. I mean, we look at a lot of other games, even in the loss, 60 points that De'Aaron Fox had. That was another moment where it was kind of like but the team didn't win that game. So a lot of our wins have been more focused this year on team effort, just everybody contributing. And I think that's the biggest thing that I've been taking away from these last 10 games that Doug Christie's been the coach. He's letting players basically play for each other. He's letting the offense be able to flow in a specific way where it's not one guy basically getting the ball or it's too many chefs that are in the kitchen. It's a team-based effort. DeRozan basically is kind of taking a step back a little bit from being a specific ball handler, but tonight it was a different example. He had 31 and just took the team on his back. And so to me, I think this is just, again, another team-based effort win, like you mentioned, Johnny. And I think that should be the identity of this team going forward. And hopefully that gives us enough to be right there, because we're a game out, We're a game out of the 8th spot behind Minnesota. I think we're 3 games behind the 6th seed. And
we're a half game behind Minnesota, I believe.
I think we were half game, right?
Yeah, we have the same amount of wins as
we have the same amount of
Minnesota and the Lakers right now. So we all have 21 wins right now.
And the Mavericks right now are slumping too without Kyrie and Luka. So that's another.
Yeah, we're a half game behind Minnesota, 1 full game behind Dallas for the 7th spot.
We're right there now. We are right there.
That was a really good point, and I don't think it's a coincidence that we're playing like a team in front of Doug Christie, who is the ultimate team player. And we saw the famous clip after the Bulls game of him, saying the defensive crown is for all you MFers. It was for everybody, and that just shows that he's such a team first person, such a team first guy. That's the message that he gives to the guys. And very well said, RT. I don't think it's a coincidence that we're playing like a team the most this season under Doug Christie, because he's just so team focused. That clip was amazing of him just giving the crown to everybody. We've never seen that. We've never seen that.
The TNT crew, they gave a lot of love to Doug Christie on the show, which was great to hear. But what Doug Christie said in tonight's post-game interview was just, oh man, it just hit so hard. He was saying how he was giving an analogy about how important it is to like build your home and protect your home and everything, and he's like, I think like our team is finally realizing how important it is for this city and this team to win and protect home court. We now have won 5 home games in a row. What a turnaround. We had the most home losses in before Doug Christie got there, and now we've won 5 straight at home, which is just huge. It's just huge for the community in Sacramento, and we love it. We love it so much.
We're almost at 500. We were basically a game under 500 at home. We have the 4th best road record in the West, and that's like very big. So just fixing those things and just being able to win at home, win on the road, that will give us to what we talked about in the preseason, where we're like, this team can win 50 wins. This is so capable. So obviously it's a long way to go, but
if we want to get 50, we got to lock in.
If any team can do it, I think it's this Sacramento Kings team under the coaching of Doug Christie.
And I'm sitting strong on my prediction that we're going to win the Pacific Division this year. I'm not going back on that prediction. I genuinely think the Kings are going to win the Pacific Division. We're only a couple games back, 2.5 games back from the Clippers, but it's good that we're not facing an uphill battle anymore. We're on the right side at 500. And like I said in past pods, boys, we're in the thick of it. So let's just keep it rolling. Let's just stack these wins.
Man, is Doug Christie like stealing your verbiage right now or what?
I don't know, man. I don't know. But we're in the thick of it, though.
No, that was an incredible nationally televised win tonight. We're now 21-20. We've won 5 in a row at home.
21,
baby.
And the next game we got Washington. So I think we could just chalk that up as a win right there. I mean, obviously we can't overlook any team, but we would love to be 22-20 by the next one, by the next recording. But boys, what a turnaround, nationally televised. I'm glad that the world got to see the Kings on full display tonight.
And as Doug Christie said, when you come to Sac, we're getting down.
He said that?
He did say that today.
We're getting down.
We're getting down.
Down and dirty.
Yeah, we're getting down.
Man, shouts out
my
Doug.
head coach.
That's our coach, baby. We love you.
That's our coach.
Thank you so much for watching the KGP episode 26. We are clocking out for the night. We love you.
Like the video, subscribe, check us out on Instagram. Just like the video.
And light that motherfucking beam.